Good morning. So today we are dealing with the slope deflection method. So whenever we are dealing with slope deflection method, so as a honor of respect, we should remember those people who have strived for this. So first of all, let me introduce you the forefather for this slope deflection method. It was started by Mr. Alex Bendixing, right? He is from Germany. It was started in 1914, and it was again reviewed, and it was accepted in the year 1915. And this person name is G.A. Manny, right? These are nothing but these are the people we call it as a forefathers for this slope deflection method. Now coming to the basic concepts in this slope deflection method. So the basic things that you need to remember, so whenever you are dealing with the slope deflection method is, so first of all, first thing is always the supports are rigid. This you need to keep in your mind whenever you are dealing with the slope deflection method. And second thing is, at the at intermediate supports and end support and support, right, we need to apply the equilibrium condition, and with respect to that we need to solve. And one more thing that comes into picture here, it is the kinematic indeterminacy, right? Now what exactly do you mean by kinematic indeterminacy? It is defined as the number of non-zero displacement, right? This is called as number of non-zero displacements of the structure, right? So this is nothing but your kinematic indeterminacy, and it is also called as degrees of freedom, right? So this you need to keep in your picture, and you need to across, and then when it has to be applied you need to consider this, right? So when we come across slope deflection method, right, one more thing important what you need to remember is, this is nothing but this is also called as displacement method, right? So this we also call it as a this we call it as a displacement method, right? So this we call it as a displacement method. And what happens in this particular method, this you need to remember, right? It is basically a displacement method, and it is also called as, this is also called as what, stiffness method. This is also called as stiffness method, right? This is the basic thing that you need to remember, right? Now coming to my sign conventions, whenever I am dealing with this particular subject, so what has to be kept in your mind? So my sign convention for reaction, so whenever I am talking for reaction, you know that summation of v is equal to 0, summation of h is equal to 0, and summation of m is equal to 0. These are the basic equations of equilibrium that you always find. Now whenever the forces are upwards, I am considering it as positive. Whenever it is downward, I am considering it as negative, right? And to right side I am considering it as positive, and to the left side I am considering it as negative, right? And my nature, for clockwise it is positive, and for anti-clockwise it is negative, right? So this is with respect to reaction. And similarly, if I talk about shear force, if I am talking about shear force, my sign conventions for all the numericals for shear force will be from left to right. From left to right, if I am considering, right, so upward force I am considering it as positive, and downward force I am considering it as negative, right? So this is with respect to shear force. Now coming to next, that is nothing but next, if I come across what how to consider for bending movements. So when I am considering for bending movements, right? So one thing what you need to consider, so whenever I am considering it as a sagging movement, right? So whenever I am considering it as sagging movement, right? So this we call it as a sagging movement. So if the movements are tending like this, so then this we call it as positive. And similarly, if I am having a hogging movement, right? Hogging movement is nothing but what? It should be like this. If the movements are pushing it like this, then this will be considered as negative, right? And these are nothing but my sign convention. So this sign convention will be followed throughout the particular subject, that is structural analysis 2, whenever I am dealing with this, right? Now next, coming to important thing, you need to know the concept for bending moment diagram and for fixed end movement. Now, so first I am considering for bending moment diagram. So we call it as a BMD. This we call it as bending moment diagrams. So whenever you are going for bending moment diagrams, so with respect to different loading conditions, you should know what are the value. Now if I am considering for the first part, so if it is a UDL, right? And if this span is L and it is having a UDL with say W kilonewton per meter, right? So you know that the nature of free bending moment diagram. So this will be a parabola, right? Now, thank you. So you know that parabola, right? So here it is not showing a parabola. So one second, let me rub this. So if I consider to the other side, so if this is the parabola, if I am talking about, right? So this will be my parabola, and this height, right? This will be what? WL square upon 8, right? This is the formula for parabola, right? And if I am considering in the same span, right? So this is the same point load. If here it is W and it is L by 2 and here it is L by 2, then the nature of the diagram, you know that it will be a triangle, right? And if triangle is there, so this value, this you know that this will be WL upon 4, right? And then similarly, if I am considering for third case, and if it is having a point load, this is W, right? And if this is A meter and this is B meter, then once again it will be having a triangle, right? So but here the formula, so this will be WAB by L, right? This is nothing but the free bending moment diagram. Now similarly, if I am considering for a UDL point loads which are at a distance of say W, A from both sides, this is W and this is A and this is A, and if that I need to draw, then it will be a what to say, and here this will be W into A and this is nothing but once again W into A, right? These are the basic formulae that you need to remember. And similarly, when I'm going with movements in between, so this is if I am applying a clockwise movement here, it is M and both distance are L by 2 and L by 2, then what will be the nature? So this will be like this, right? And here you will be having the formula, so this will be plus M by 2, this will be minus M by 2. Now similarly, the same thing if I am having a UDL, right? And not UDL, moment which is in say other distance, means this is A distance and this is B distance, then the same will be there, right? But here this will be, this distance will be MB by L, right? So this will be MB by L and this is plus, this is minus, and this will be MA by L, right? So and if the same thing in anti-clockwise are there, just the replicate of this formula you need to use, right? So this is with respect to free bending moment diagrams. Now similarly, next important thing, so this free bending moment diagram you will be coming across whenever you are using for the final bending moment diagram when you are drawing. So second is nothing but your FEM. This we call it as a fixed end moment. Now for fixed end moments, if you are having this UDL, right, and this is say W kilonewton per meter, right, and say this is A and this is B, and if this is the first case, so usually I will be writing MFAB. So MFAB is nothing but what? The moment, that is fixed end moment with respect to AB. So this formula is minus WL square by 12, and the similarly MFBA if I am talking, so this is plus WL square upon 12. Now why this I have done? Now because in order to rescue this load, you will be having a movement like this and you will be having a movement like this, and this is say anti-clockwise movement, so that is why this is negative, and this is a clockwise movement, so this is positive. Now similarly for the same thing, if you are having a point load, right, so this is A and say this is B, and we are having a point load, so this is W kilonewton, and both the distance are L by 2, right? So if this is the case, now the formula once again MFAB, so this will be minus WL upon 8, and similarly for MFBA, this is equal to plus WL upon 8, plus WL upon 8. So this is the formula. And similarly when you are having a point load, this is A and this is say B, and we are having a point load, so this is W, and at a distance of A and B, right? So how to get the formula? So the formulas will be MFAB is minus W AB square upon L square, and MFBA, so this is nothing but plus W A square B upon L square, right? So this is the formula when what we need to use. Now similarly, if I am going for the other things, in the sense after this if I am moving ahead, so D I am considering, so here the same thing A, the same thing B, and if I am applying a positive clockwise movement here for M, right, so my MFAB is equal to MFBA, so this both as they are clockwise, this will be M by 4. Now similarly the same thing when you are considering, right, A and B, and if I are applying a anti-clockwise movement here, the same thing MFAB and MFBA, so this will be equal to minus M upon 4. So this is the basic formula that you need to remember. Now similarly the triangular load if I am considering, this is A and this is say B, and we are having a triangular load like this now, right? So these are nothing but the triangular load if I am applying. So here my MFAB, right, so my MFAB will be minus WL square upon 30, and MFBA, so this will be plus WL square upon 20. Now this is when you are having the height this to this side, right side, and the minimum point to the left side, the point load, right? And next thing is the point triangular load with height to the left side. So for that case the formula will be just a change here, so this is once again A, this is once again B, and if I am drawing the triangle like this, if the loading cases are like this, then it will be my here MFAB, this will be minus WL square upon 20, and this MFBA, this will be plus WL square upon 30, right? So similarly if the last case is the same triangular load, if it is to the middle, so this is A and this is B, and if I am drawing the triangle like this, and if the loadings are like this, right? And here this will be W, here this will be W, and here this center, this will be W. Now in this case, the formula, how does the formula change, that you need to remember. So whenever there is a triangular load, whenever there is a triangular load with height in between, right, height is exactly at the center. So my MF AB, so this will be minus 5 WL square upon 96, and MF BA, so this will be plus 5 WL square upon 96, right? So this will be the concept. Now these concept that you need to remember whenever you are studying the slope deflection method. So as a summary, if you see whatever been discussed in this video, if you want to see as a summary, so I will just go through the summary, right? We have just started with the subject. Now the forefathers are Alex Bandigzin from Germany and G.A. Manne. So it was existed from 1915. So basic things that what you need to remember is the basic things that you need to remember is the supports are always rigid, and then you need to consider the equilibrium conditions at intermediate supports, right, and end support. And you know that kinematic indeterminacy is nothing but non-zero displacement of the structure. And then it is also called as displacement method and stiffness method. And you need to remember the sign conventions. So sign conventions are, for you know the equilibrium equation, summation V is equal to 0, summation H is equal to 0, and summation M is equal to 0. And upward forces are positive, downward forces are negative. The forces from left to right are positive, right to left are negative. Clockwise movement is positive, anti-clockwise movement is negative. And shear force, whenever you are considering from left to right, upward forces are positive and downward forces are negative. Bending movement, if you are seeing, sagging movement need to be considered as positive, hogging movement need to be considered negative, right? So how the free bending movement diagram you need to consider, and this I have explained for various type of loading, and fixed end movements also for various type of loading, what are the formula you need to study. So this is with respect to the basic requirement.